guys, welcome to Sam's channel.
If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button.
Yo, what's up YouTube? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are living right. Welcome back to another video. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so in today's video I want to talk about something very important that I don't think I've spoke about on this channel. Now, with that being said, what I'm going to be talking about today is the Brics currency. For those of you that do not understand what the Brics currency is, or what Brics is basically, these are about 5 different countries, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and now South Africa, that have come together and are basically trying to form, or maybe hoping to form, a currency, one common currency that's going to be used in all these different kinds of nations. Now, these nations in particular are really powerful nations, by the way, backed up by heavy duty minerals and natural resources and so on and so forth. So I want to talk about the Brics currency, and mainly what I want to talk about is how the Brics currency, if it can actually form, or if it will be formed, how it's going to affect you as an individual. Because trust me, anything that happens on a global scale, anything that happens on this scale affects the lower grade every time. So this video is a must watch for you guys. Make sure you guys watch it. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot. So when we talk about the Brics nations and governments and heads of state coming together to talk about certain things, whatever decisions they decide at these meetings are going to affect their member countries basically. So I want to talk about Brics, what it is and how it can affect you and I positively and as well as negatively, because there is also, there are always two sides of the coin, negative and positive. So that is the video for today. Make sure you guys subscribe and watch it until the end. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the reason why I have decided to basically talk about the Brics currency in today's video is because I haven't done many financial literacy related videos, and some of you guys, the reason you're subscribed to this channel is maybe because you saw a forex trading strategy that worked for you and you've been following my YouTube channel ever since. And all those things are cooking up. Just relax, chill on it. But in today's video, I really wanted to talk about the Brics currency because I feel like these guys are literally getting closer to their main dream of creating one common currency among these 5 nations, or maybe even more. We don't know. And another reason why I want to talk about it is because I was scrolling through social media, Facebook in particular, and I came across a post from the president of Zambia. I'm here in Zambia, so I came across the post of President Hakainde Hichilema, who is the president of Zambia, and it read something about him going to meet heads of states and governments at a meeting in South Africa, at the Brics Summit meeting in South Africa. So I started thinking to myself, could Zambia be thinking of joining the Brics nation? And if at all we do join the Brics nation, how is it going to affect us, on that global scale? So that is what I want to talk about here today. And if you guys don't know what this is, make sure you watch the video until the end, because I'm going to be explaining to you exactly what it is and exactly how it's going to affect you and how you can avoid being affected in a negative way. Because trust me, when you see something coming in this kind of format, you just really need to prepare mentally and as well as financially, because we're talking about money. We're talking about global currencies here, and that's what people wake up every day for, to make money. That's why you guys go to your jobs. So basically, that is what we're going to be talking about today. So what is Brics? So basically, BRICS stands for the 5 different nations that have partnered together, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and now South Africa. Now guys, bear in mind, this has been probably, it's like a decade plus old, okay? And just recently, I think in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, that's when South Africa came on board, and then from BRIC, it became BRICS. So these nations basically allies, all right? They're allies of different kinds of spectrums in their nations, and they have vowed to, protect each other's interests in one way or another. So the BRICS currency that they are trying to create, how is it going to affect, these different kinds of economies? Now, first and foremost, the main idea of these guys creating the BRICS currency is basically they are trying to reduce dependency on the United States dollar and as well as other major Western currencies, because as we all know it, even if it doesn't matter what country you're in, if you look at the chart, for example the bank charts, and you see the different prices the currencies are trading at, you're going to see the first three at the top is the Great British Pound, the Euro, and the United States dollar. In some other countries, the United States dollar is always at the top. So countries like that, these countries known as the BRICS now, are basically trying to reduce their dependency on the United States dollar and these other, global huge currencies, because they have been at the top for decades. So the BRICS nations have basically discussed and said, okay guys, enough is enough. We have so much. Russia has oil, South Africa has gold, diamonds, and so on and so forth. They're like, guys, let's put our fucking heads together. And then, okay, scratch that. Say, hey guys, let's put our heads together. And then let us form one common currency backed by our different kinds of minerals. All right. So now basically we're going to look at, the advantages. And I think the first advantage, just from the top of my head, is probably, the trade and investment. I personally feel that when the BRICS currency is implemented, the countries that are part of the BRICS, or rather the nations that are part of the BRICS, will have a smoother investment and trade platform, eliminating the currency conversion that is affected by the cost. So basically you find that every time you're trying to travel to a different country, you will find it more appropriate to change into dollars. For example, let's say I'm going to Dubai or wherever. If I have my Zambian kwacha, I'll think, okay, let me change it to dollar first, and then when I go to Dubai, I'll change it to dirham or whatever. People just find that more convenient. But then if you're just working amongst that's just a random example, but let's suppose this is some big stuff, you're moving from in and out of the countries and so on and so forth. Between the BRICS nations, it's going to be easier because we're going to have one common currency, so that could be an advantage. Advantage, obviously, that we spoke of is it will reduce dependency on Western countries such as the United States dollar and other Western currencies. It's going to reduce the dependency, and you're going to find that these different BRICS nations are basically going to have more control of their trade and financial transactions when they eliminate the dependency of these Western dollars and as well as different kinds of Western currencies. That's also a must-have. That's also an advantage of the BRICS currency. Another advantage that I think will be implemented will be financial stability. I think there's going to be a lot of financial stability in the sense that these different kinds of BRICS nations have got will be literally backed up by the minerals or natural resources that are found in these individual countries. So you find that, and you guys need to understand that the BRICS nations literally make up 40% of the population, global population on the planet. And they can definitely manage to build their own economies with their different kinds of raw materials and minerals and resources they have in these different countries. They can actually manage to handle it themselves without getting help from the Western side. They can manage to do this. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of financial stability because that currency BRICS will be backed up by their individual, mineral resources. So I think that's also an advantage. So, ladies and gentlemen, some of the disadvantages that I can just think of at the top of my head right now is that when the BRICS currency is formed, it's basically going to signal, a shift of economic change and power, because the BRICS nations are basically going to take power from the already, large economies of the Western countries, and also will diminish their currency values. Because trust me, 40% of the world population, and when everybody starts using BRICS, you're going to see maybe the dollar starts to fall and so on and so forth. But then looking at it on a perspective of, let's say, a person that trades financial instruments online, when this is happening, it's time for you to make bunk. It's time for you to make crazy amounts of money, because when that's happening on a global scale, even you as an individual can just go online and make some money. So I just feel like this whole global shift, if it actually happens, there's going to be a lot of money to be made. So keep your eyes open on different kinds of forex currencies that are involved in the BRICS nations, and as well as the high-end Western currencies. So keep an eye on that, guys, and don't forget, when the BRICS is formed, a lot of Western currencies are going to fall. It's going to be a must. They will fall. Gentlemen, another disadvantage I can think at the top of my head, and according to research actually, is that I feel like it's going to be very, very hard. There's going to be a challenge in coordination when this BRICS currency is actually implemented, because all these different countries, or rather nations, have got different kinds of structures and have different kinds of monetary policies and so on and so forth. And to be honest with you, I never thought I would see China and India work together, because they never really agree on anything. China and India they never agree on anything. And trust me, look, as a person who looks at financial instruments on a daily basis, you find that most of the time when you're analyzing, for example, if you trade forex, I don't trade forex, even though I look at the charts, every now and then and so on and so forth. What I trade are indices, but yeah, you can also call it forex, stocks and stuff like that. So when I look at the news, and I see what's happening to the Chinese yen, or what's happening to India's currency, or what's happening to the ruble, and so on and so forth, I can tell there's no coordination there. There hasn't been good coordination for the past decades and so on and so forth. So if China and India can work together, I don't think bringing these other countries closer is going to be too hard. I just see a problem with China and India working together. But if they can work together, I think this is going to be a +1 and a must-have for all these BRICS nations. And don't forget, the big boys don't like to lose. We're talking about the United States dollar and these other large Western currencies. They don't like to lose. And by creating the BRICS, it's a direct signal that they are going to start losing power. So what they're going to do is basically uncertain. We don't know how they might retaliate, with such kinds of news and so on and so forth. Maybe they might not do anything, because I think we're just at that scale of free mind thinking and thought and stuff like that. So basically, it's really going to be hard for them to stop the BRICS nations. But yeah, I mean, whatever happens, but that's what's happening with the BRICS currency. Ladies and gentlemen, I just hope you have learned one or two things about the BRICS currency. Remember, the BRICS currency, if implemented, can make anybody a multi-millionaire. And you see, what I really now understand about people and this new age of life these days is that the difference between a person that does not have money and a person that has millions of dollars is just simply information in between. And I just honestly feel that is the only difference these days. It's just a little piece of information that this one person has that you just don't have. So with that being said, make sure you guys educate yourself on currency, educate yourself on money, because that is what people wake up for every single day. Going to work, being doctors and lawyers and so on and so forth. Everybody's trying to do that for a living so they can actually earn an income and they can survive. So if you understand, the basics of money, how it's made and how it's controlled, who's controlling it, so on and so forth, I feel it's going to be easier. You're going to find it much more easier for you to literally make money out of this. So with that being said, that was BRICS. I hope you guys got one or two things about it. It's very important that you guys understand that this is not financial advice, but this is what I would do in my own opinion. when the BRICS forms, when the BRICS currency forms, I do understand the dollar is going to start falling. A lot of other, currencies will start falling. And I also understand that, let's say, importation of certain goods from the United States. I'm really talking about the United States because I look at the United States as a very powerful, it's a global power, basically. The United States is a very powerful country, it's a global power. So the importation of certain goods from the United States will start to, be cheaper, or rather, basically they will be very affordable. They will be cheaper because their currency will be losing value. Okay, so that is also an advantage to different people around in case you want to plug into whatever business in the United States once the BRICS, is out, and if it will be out. That is going to be a really, really good opportunity for you to make massive amounts of money. Apart from that, again, look at the financial markets. I know a lot of people that follow this YouTube channel are forex traders, or maybe just trying to get in, or have already, got in, and so on and so forth. Make sure you look at all those different currencies, because trust me, those have the capability of making you millions of dollars, millions upon millions. Just follow the scale properly, follow the news properly. Don't follow all this trending news. Follow what is actually on the ground. So there's going to be a summit in South Africa held, I think, I'm not sure if it's this month or next month, but I'm following that quite closely, because whatever happens there, if those guys decide, okay guys, listen, we're going to have a currency, that means business. It's business as usual. It's time for you to make a shitload of money. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you guys got educated. With that being said, I will be uploading a forex tutorial after this video. Actually, just right after this video, I will be uploading a forex tutorial. So make sure you guys stay glued in. Let's keep learning. Let's educate ourselves. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.